What is happening, everybody? It is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth, and I'm glad to be here with you yet again for another Wednesday. Before I begin with anything else, I do have to say I have some very sad news that I have to report. My best friend, Jonathan, he let me know this morning that his father has passed away, and it definitely hit me to the core when I got the information. So I do want to give him my condolences and the family. He's Jonathan is a brother to me. We've been long time friends since we were in pretty much kindergarten, and his father has been a father to me as well. So when I didn't have that father figure in my life, he has been that man for me. So I definitely want to give my condolences to him and to the family, Mr. Albert McDaniel. Definitely want to give you uh, thank you for everything that you've done for me, and I know that you're in peace and you're wonderful, and I know that you're smiling down right now. So thank you for being a great example of what a great father is, and a great husband, a great everything that you've been during your time here on this earth. So my condolences once again to Jonathan and to the family, to my family, because I call them family. Once again, he's my brother through this hard time. But I'm gonna definitely hold things down as a man and make you proud. So once again, this is the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. Another Wednesday night sports delight. Glad that you're all tuned in right now. Take this moment to go ahead and hit that like, hit that share button. Let's get so many more people to be tuned in. And, let's just have a great time tonight, y'all. Let's get it in. We have a jam packed show, have a great special guest on the way. So definitely stay tuned for this wonderful show. Once again, go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. I'll wait until I have Bunny on so she can do her thing with the bell. So I'll get her ready right now. You can also email us on platform sports talk show at gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram as well. Platform Sports Talk goes down every Wednesday night right here. Holding things down, man. Shout out to our Hot 365 radio crew. Another way to hear the show. You ain't got to see us, you can hear us. Whether you're on the road or whatever you're doing, just go ahead and download the app Hot 365 Radio. Check us out. Very crystal clear. You will enjoy everything that you hear on Hot 365 Radio. Shouts out to the ladies. They held things down last Wednesday night. Ladies' night. That goes down every first Wednesday of the month. I'm going to talk to Bunny and Joe very soon about how they felt about last week's show as we added a upgrade. Not just an upgrade, but a Miss Missouri upgrade. Hopefully, Miss America. And then, of course, every last Wednesday of the month, you have the Man Cave. So a whole lot is going down. And yes, hello, good evening to our favorite member or fan of the Sports Talk Show, Miss Williams. Much love to you. So, with that being said, I got the plugs out the way. Let's go ahead and bring in the crew. First person up, she is the host of Ladies Night. I think she's ready. She may be cooking again. Y'all know how she is, y'all. She very versatile with it. You know she don't be playing. I have so many talented people on this show. We just do it all. So without any further ado, what's up, Bunny? You on me? There we
Good
go.
evening, good evening. Happy hump day.
There we go. I'm loving the shirt. Speak life.
It's brought to you by Adi Dot.
Oh, that's the homie. I used to do some shows with her back in the day.
Yeah, we just celebrated her 40th birthday in Atlanta a couple of weekends ago, and it's part of our weekend extravaganza getting t-shirts. Had a wonderful time. So sorry about Jonathan's father, Mr. McDaniel. I did not know that. Oh my gosh, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, do me a favor, Bunny. Turn your phone to landscape. There we go. There it is. But yeah, so like you said, man, I went over to his house yesterday. Me and the fellas, just to, be there, with him and see his father and of course, Mrs. McDaniel as well. And, we just had a good time, just talking. This was my first time over at the house in years. And then Jonathan let us know this morning that he passed away. So he was dealing with illness for quite some time, and this his time. But he left a huge mark, what I'm saying, in our lives. I definitely, in mind, being a father figure to me.
Definitely a patriarch for the McDaniel family. Definitely a patriarch. Yes.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, yes, Miss Williams, Jonathan's father passed away this morning. He was suffering through stages of ALS and Lou Gehrig's disease. So yeah, so everything is, well, excuse me, not everything, but today was his last day here on Earth. So he did pass away, and of course, I'll keep you updated, Miss Williams, in regards to funeral arrangements and everything. But once again, to Mr. McDaniel, love you, and we thank you for everything that you've done for us. Miss Williams has. I'm so sorry to hear that. So I know that Miss Williams, she knows McDaniel very well. So definitely, it's a whole lot to swallow right now. A big pill to swallow, but
it is.
We're gonna get through it. And I know John is going to be great. I was really admired by him taking care of his father when I saw him in person yesterday, and he stepped up. So once again, he needs all the love right now, and he's definitely going to get it from me and from others. So
yep, I'll definitely send my condolences to them. And my parents are around the corner from his parents, so
right.
Yeah, I ain't been over there at his parents' house in years. So
yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Up next, represented from the Boondocks. She went to the baseball game. I got to hear about that. She got an autograph from I think Austin Hayes or something like that. Had a great time with friends and family. Joe Bo, what's going on?
What's up, guys?
Happy Wednesday. In the building virtually.
I had to get me a shirt that says something about Boondocks on it.
Hey, you got to. If not you, I'll get someone to make it. Okay, I got you, Joe.
All right.
The Boondocks.
But yesterday was awesome. It was our first game of the year. I think I've mentioned this before, but my dad's dad, my grandpa, he's a big Browns fan growing up, and obviously now the Orioles, and so it's just like we got people in our family that love them. We still pay attention and watch all their games as much as possible. And so we were supposed to go in 2019 when they were supposed to come here, but, COVID and everything. So we finally got our tickets for this year, had a group about 20 or so people there. But yeah, I got there early enough. And Tim Cousins, the bullpen coach for the O's, saw Mia, gave her a baseball. And then later on, Austin Hayes came over and signed the baseball for her. So that was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I'm like, okay, Joe got them premium seats over there at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was the O's in town the first time since 2003, which is ridiculous to me, but
it is.
Which we went to that in 2003 as well, but
sounds like Manfred baseball at its best, though, right?
I mean, it's been happening since the Sea League days too, which I do think MLB's changing that. Hi, Miss Williams.
Hi, Miss Williams.
I do think MLB's changing that next year, where every team's going to play every team. Like we're not going to play the Cubs and the Pirates 19 times anymore.
Right.
We're going to play them the majority of the time, just not 19. So yeah, but we had to get good seats, for the O's coming to town, and I know a couple of our family members are still at tonight's game as well.
Mm-hmm. And up next, this man is residing in Orlando, Florida, representing HBC Dub. Not W, but Dub. That's how we're saying it in the loop, babe. HBC Dub wrestling in a nice 76 degrees out there while we baking at 95 degrees here in the Lou. But none other than, of course, T-Bone Funk. What's going on, man?
Well, just came from a brisk walk before we started here on the outside. Enjoying the weather. Didn't know it was, a heat wave going in St. Louis, but, hey, pretty good here. So, how y'all doing out there? Sorry to hear about your friend's father and everything. That's a tough one for anybody. So,
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. And like I said, just being over there yesterday, I didn't know what to expect, in regard to just seeing him in person and being around, my best friend and the family. And but yesterday was a nice reflection day, and just being able to have some nice gospel music in the background and just reminiscing on great times and everything. It wasn't like a time at all being over there. We just really just enjoyed the time being together. So I'm just glad that I was able to be there yesterday, to just be there. It just means a lot. It's the small things. So I'm just glad to be there. I know that Joe, that you went through something similar to that with your who was it? Your grandmother. Was that about a year ago or so? She passed away.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago now. But yeah, my abuela, she passed away. Actually, her birthday, we just celebrated on Cinco de Mayo. And then that was also the day we found out a couple years ago that we were pregnant with Mia. So
Ain't that something?
Yeah, we kind of, miracle type stuff for us. That's, at least that's what we think of. So, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. So once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight. Bunny, are you ready? Because I'm about to say it. Go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that.
Damn, baby.
Because anytime we go live, Joe,
you will be notified.
there we go. Let's get right into it. Y'all already know how we do it on the main show. Oh, actually, before I do that, ladies, y'all held things down last week. It was a great show. Congrats to y'all. How did it feel having Miss Missouri 2022, Michaela McGee, adding her presence on the show?
That was awesome. She's gonna be a fun, nice addition to the ladies' night crew. Obviously knows what she's talking about, and with her career, she's very professional, knows what she's doing. And it was nice to figure out how all this Miss Missouri and future Miss America stuff works, because as you guys could tell, I'm not really girly. I don't know all that stuff, so it was nice to learn something like that.
And yes, Miss Williams, last week only. It was on last Tuesday just because of a scheduling thing going on. So that was just on last Tuesday. Everything else to be on, of course, on Wednesday nights. Once again, every first Wednesday of the month. Bunny, how about yourself?
It was wonderful having Money McGee to join our crew on Ladies Night. As Jobo said, it's good hearing the behind the scenes and how the pageantry world works and what she had to do to get where she is. And I can't wait for her Miss USA contest. I'm hoping that she will definitely get that crown and represent for St. Louis and us ladies. I also like the different debates. And it's funny how, like Jobo said, it waited to the end of the show where we went back and forth, specifically with Annie and Money McGee. But I liked it. I'm glad she's part of the crew, and can't wait for more ladies' nights to come. So first Wednesday night of the month, tune in. And here's your ladies' night junior person over here.
Right. She ready.
So say hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, right. We're making smoothies, so if you really want to make a smoothie, sorry I gotta use up this time, but I gotta help her out. Gotta come through on my promise to her.
Now, Bunny, is that smoothie with 2 O's or 3?
For her, it's smoothie like you. It's 3 O's because she literally said smoothie with a V. So it's 3 O's. Yes, smoothie. Yes, we'll make a smoothie.
That's what's up. So let's go and get into it, y'all. You now have my attention. What sports story or stories has your attention? T-Bone, you up first.
Whew. Let's see. Stories. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll stick with wrestling. That's the easiest one. I mean, they had the Backlash pay-per-view. Not a lot really happened in that, but there was a story that came out that apparently Roman Reigns is not going to be as active as he's been, which leaves the door open for some other people to be able to step.
Yes. I love it already.
There we go. Go ahead and plug the product there, Smooth.
I'll do it later. Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
But you know, if he's not as active as he could be, you know, that kind of opens the door for, you know, the he's got 2 belts. I can see him keeping one and keeping the part-time schedule, and then they find a way to get the other one off of him. And I have a pretty good idea who that's going to be, but you know, we'll have to see what happens probably around SummerSlam.
What were your thoughts in regards to the Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair match? Ronda Rousey did win, and it was just reported just now, or actually within the last half an hour, that Charlotte Flair will take some time off. But what are your thoughts on the match? You think that Ronda Rousey really stepped up and improved herself ring wise?
I mean, I think the match was fine. I mean, even the Mania match wasn't bad. It's just I don't think people particularly wanted to see it. You know, they kind of already had their matches. People already had it in their minds as the match that they wanted to see between, you know, Ronda and Becky if she was going to have a match. But the Charlotte one was kind of like a lackluster, like distant number 2, if that was even the number 2 match that people wanted to see. But, you know, I mean, it was fine. I kind of wish things would just get to the point where they kind of pull back on doing, you know, matches with weapons and kendo sticks and all that type of stuff. Like none of that stuff matters. It doesn't mean anything like it would have 20, 25 years ago when the stuff was rare. They need to pull it back so that when somebody does use something, it doesn't just seem like, oh, they're using that again. Oh, there's that thing that we see every week. Like, just stop doing it. Pull it back. Like, you know, you remember when they stopped using pyro a few years ago, and people were like, people didn't even notice that they stopped using pyro at first. Mm-hmm. It took a while for people to realize that they weren't using pyro. And then when everybody kind of caught on to, wait, there's no pyro, then people were like, well, why aren't we getting pyro? When are we going to get pyro? And then once they brought the pyro back, people were like, yes, we got pyro. It, you know, you do that stuff so much that it doesn't matter anymore.
Got you. Yeah, I think it really caught my attention when you see like Brock Lesnar coming down the ring doing this, and you see no pyro. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, something's up. You know,
the better example was Kane when
he would do the same thing.
When he would do his thing and nothing happens. The lights change colors. That's about it.
Right. I was about to say the same thing. And then also Roman Reigns, they said that he recently signed a new deal. So he'll be doing like less house shows and stuff like that. So he don't have to have as busy of a schedule like he has been. Because he's been a real workhorse over the last few years.
Not really.
You don't think so?
I mean, just think about the last few years in general. The nature of it's been everybody's work less because in 2020 they weren't doing house shows. You remember he came back. He was gone. Remember, for about 6 months. Came back around WrestleMania 35. You know, he was active for that time, and then right before WrestleMania 36, he stepped out because, you know, of everything that was going on, and he didn't come back to like SummerSlam. And at that point, they were only working, you know, TVs and pay-per-views.
Right. Yeah, and I'm just thinking maybe, you know, he's putting in a request to maybe start doing other things outside of wrestling too. So,
which I'm sure they want.
Right.
I'm sure they want that at this point.
But, I mean, he's definitely at the peak of his career right now, man. He can't do anything wrong. And you said before via our chat that he shouldn't turn face right now, correct?
No, I mean somebody would need to beat him first. So you need to have the payoff of this 3 years or however long it's been for somebody to be the baby face that gets the win over him, and then they are built. But you know, if he turns face, then nobody benefits.
Right. Joe, how about yourself?
So I know, excuse me, me and you were talking about this a little bit last night, but let's talk about the Angels. The Angels definitely, you know, have the attention of everyone in the baseball world. You know, I mean, first off, finally, you know, Mike Trout is on a team that is playing good baseball early on and has a chance to be dangerous, you know, this year. Who knows what's going to happen, but thankfully Mike Trout's getting attention, and this guy's got like a freaking 1 OPS. He's still doing amazing things. Ohtani's doing amazing things still. rookie last night, Reed Detmers. It's only 22, threw a no hitter. They just got a lot of young, fun talent on that team. And they're fun to watch. It just sucks, like I've said before, that they're in the West Coast. So unless something like that's happening, a no hitter, no one really gets a chance to see it. Then you had Anthony Rendon yesterday hitting a left-handed home run against Brett Phillips, like slow pitch style. But yeah, they're just a fun team to watch right now. And again, I tell my brother this all the time because he's a Trout fanatic, loves the Angels. He's loved the Angels since, early 2000s. But I want Trout to be in the playoffs and whatnot. But I don't want him to win the division because, I want the Astros to win the division.
I'm about to ask you that question, too.
Yeah, so, they can be a wild card team and then win that wild card series and then meet up with the Astros later on, and we'll see what goes on. But he keeps trying to give me crap when they're up one game in May. Thinks that means something. But again, I want Trout to be in the postseason, so it's a tough situation for me. But they're just fun to watch. If you like baseball, you should really watch them because it's awesome right now.
Yeah, and I will say this: Joe Madden has done it again.
Yay!
Joe Madden has definitely done it again. His impact on the team. Now, I ain't saying he did it by himself. Of course, having guys like Trout, Ohtani, that's going to definitely help. And also, you think about the pitching. I'm not saying that they have the best pitching staff in the world, but who is part of the organization now, and that's Chris Carpenter, someone that we know here in St. Louis very well. So I know he has an influence on certain guys too. And
yeah, I mean, they last year in the offseason or this past offseason free agency, they finally did the right thing and went out there and got nothing but pitching.
Right.
In the last year's draft, they didn't draft a single bat. They drafted pitcher, which is exactly what they needed to do.
Right.
So because they don't need any bats, they're
good.
Depending on what order they want to go, they go Ohtani, Trout, Rendon. Then they got Walsh, and they got Marsh. And when Joe Adell figures it out, Joe Adell's going to be up here. They don't need any more bats. They're going to be perfectly fine there. So, yeah, and I'm sure Chris Carpenter has a little something to do with that as well.
Bunny, what about yourself?
You now have my attention, NBA playoffs, and specifically, I already told y'all about how Ja Morant was going to clown with the Grizzlies against the Warriors. Too bad he's injured. That series is over. Warriors about to sweep this on up, and they ready for the conference finals. Shout out to Morant. Ja tried to do what he could. Injury's going to hold him back. But I mean, he's not, of course, a one-man show with the Grizzlies. It is a team effort, but he was definitely showing out. That is the future face of the NBA. I know we bring this up a lot dealing with baseball and who's the face of the league and stuff, but for the NBA, I say without a doubt, Ja Morant is proving himself to be the face of the league now. Now, granted, you still got Steph, you still got LeBron. If AD stayed healthy at any point, maybe even add him to the mix, but those are the seasoned veterans. Ja Morant has let his name be known. And let's not forget about our boy Justin Tatum as well, St. Louis' own. He's definitely showing that he can handle in the clutch and take over for his team if they need to. He's another person got my attention. I said this last season, but definitely this season in these playoffs, Tatum like, hey, give me the ball. I'm going to get us the dub. Don't worry about it. At first, it was kind of shaky. At first, it was like he can do it, but then he made, scale back some. It's like you got to take over. Like, he reminded me last season of how LeBron was in his first year in Miami. Everybody's like, LeBron, you the dude, it's your team clutch, and he wasn't taking off like he should have been. He was still passing the ball a lot. And not saying Tatum was passing the ball, but he still just didn't dominate when it's time to do it in the fourth quarter. Now he's like, this is my team, I got us. So, got my attention, I'm ready for him. Let's go. Eastern Conference Finals, I can see the Celtics going all the way and defeating the Bucks. And that's definitely an upset.
Yeah, and we're gonna break that down very soon in regards to some NBA talk. My mom did tell me or warn me about Ja Morant though and his style of play, and look what happened. Now he's out for the rest of the playoffs, and it definitely sucks. It pretty much takes the air out the sails of that series because you wanted him to be playing against Golden State, and now once again it was announced that he is more so doubtful.
But see, his style of play that I don't know if this is something your mom said. He's so young, so they don't mind taking those little bumps and bruises here and there, but it adds up over time real fast. He keep falling to the floor a lot for a foul or this and that. You keep getting banged up like that over time, that's really gonna do something to you. So he definitely gotta be careful. But yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I would see him at full all along against the Warriors because I can see them next year going even further. Like the Grizzlies have enough going to play, be in the playoffs. But if y'all want to get past the Warriors, or if not the Warriors, let's say if they had to face the Jazz and face against Gobert or something, they'll need one more piece, more or less defensively, not necessarily offensively. But they still are entertaining to watch. I love what they have to offer. I just can't wait for the future. As long as Morant stays healthy, then they got the league on notice. I'm trying to find my smoothie stuff, y'all.
Oh, good. So yes, yeah. So got a little bit of wrestling, got a little bit of baseball going on, got a little bit of basketball. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in some football. Just when you thought that you may have enough of this guy, then he signs a huge deal yesterday, and he's gonna be on TV for the rest of y'all lives, pretty much. and that is one Tom Brady. He just signed recently a huge 10-year deal for $375 million with Fox Sports. He's going to be their lead analyst, taking over for Troy Aikman after he retires. Right now, it'll be Greg Olsen until Tom Brady retires. He'll be the analyst for NFL games. But then once Brady is done, you're going right to the booth, and he'll be your face of Fox Sports for the next at least 10 years. And once again, $375 million. Man, it's crazy, but that's how it is now. They want to go ahead and get these big guys to be the face of networks. And with that being said, the future of the NFL in regards to broadcasting is looking like this. So you're going to have on CBS Jim Nance and Tony Romo, and we've already seen how Tony Romo's star, no pun intended, has been even bigger now that he's a analyst. He's been an okay quarterback, but I think his celebrity is even that much greater because now he's an analyst and he's one of the best ones in the game. On Fox, it'll be Kevin Burkhardt. He's taking over for Joe Buck. And once again, Tom Brady, once he's done playing. NBC, it'll be Mike Tirico. I always liked him, along with Chris Collinsworth. ESPN will have Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. And then starting this year, you'll have Amazon. They'll be doing the Thursday night football games, and it'll be Al Michaels, the legendary Al Michaels, and college football analyst, but now he's doing NFL, Kirk Herbstreit. So, guys, when y'all find out about Brady being the guy for Fox Sports when he retires, what's going on in y'all mind?
Again. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, are the Manning brothers still doing something next year or no?
I believe they are still doing the Manning cast on ESPN.
That's on cool. ESPN too, though, right?
Yeah, on ESPN too. Correct.
Okay. I mean, it's not like he doesn't not have a face for TV, I mean, look at him. So there's that. And then Giselle, I mean, I guess she doesn't have a husband anymore. Like this guy is, I mean, I guess she can't complain though, I mean, it's a lot of money he's getting.
2 days
what he's already made. Huh?
He works like 2 days a week.
I know, but I mean, you've seen all these documentaries. This dude's nonstop. He's always doing something, he's a pro, so whatever. It's a lot of money, so who cares, I guess. But I mean, I like listening to him talk, he's a smart guy. He knows, he's got a lot of brains. He knows what he's talking about, so it'll be interesting.
I do say this. I'm surprised he didn't go the ownership route. Mike Jordan, the GOAT for basketball, he went straight into part ownership before he full-fledged became owner of the Charlotte Hornets. I thought Tom Brady may would try to go that route, but everybody's business side may be different. So, Tom Brady being the voice or face of broadcasting, that's fine. But you just named all these guys, so they're legendary. Some of them are. I just can't wait till a woman gets in there, just like how we have, what's her name? That does broadcast for ESPN. Yeah, like I would love to see a woman in that as well. That there are women that y'all know NFL in and out, forward and backwards, and I know some of them do sideline reporting, but I would love if she get into the booth. That's all.
And if Mark Jackson gets a head coaching gig, then yes, I think that will happen, Bunny. That Doris Burke will be joining the main cast in regards to
come on with it, because she's dope. She is dope. Trailblazer, she's dope.
And people don't realize this, but she recently got promoted last year because she used to do the sideline reporting, but now she's doing ESPN radio right now. In regards to like the NBA Finals, because she has a big promotion. But once again, if Mark Jackson does get a job, hopefully he does very soon, then Doris Burke would take over.
Because sometimes I don't think people realize when it comes to broadcasting, you just watching the game, and we can talk about this even with Cardinals baseball, Blues hockey, and Yankees radio even. You're just so used to watching the game, and you're hearing the person tell it. You don't even realize what goes on behind the scenes to even get that far to telling the story or doing play-by-play. It's not the easiest, even color commentating. But you're used to your staples, and then when somebody new comes in, sometimes people don't pay attention. But again, it takes a lot to get to be a sideline reporter, let alone to be actually in the booth. And I know people don't speak on it sometimes. It's just everyday thing, or it's a male-dominated field. So we know that. But still, if we're breaking barriers and breaking doors down, let's break one down too for NBA, MLB. We finally got another woman that was on a first base coach temporarily. But these are things that we're still dealing with. So many firsts in major sports. Sometimes it's mind-boggling. Like, we're here. We can talk about all this money players are getting and all the coaches are getting, but we still have to deal with first. So I just can't wait to see it. I'm excited for all those gentlemen for the fall sports in the NFL, but definitely can't wait to see more women in those positions.
Most definitely. T-Bone.
I'm not sure that hasn't happened already, because what we're talking about right now is strictly nationally televised games. But in the local markets, I could have sworn I've heard a woman do play-by-play for, I want to say, a Tampa Bay Bucks game, but I could be completely wrong on that. But even still, on a national level, I think that you're more likely to hear a woman in the booth doing play-by-play than doing the color analyst position, because that's always typically been something, even within the broadcast field. No matter if you have people who went to journalism school, they're going to want somebody who played in that particular game at that particular level to comment about it. But who really has to be mad right now? Drew Brees. Because if I'm Drew Brees, I'm like, wait a minute. Now I know I just signed a deal here, and now all of a sudden this guy's still playing, and he's already got a contract to bump me out. Like, I can't get the national games, guys. Like, if I'm Drew Brees, I gotta be like, come on, man, he's doing this to me again.
So what I understand, sources say that that NBC hasn't been as impressed with him in regards to an analyst role. Like, they like what he's doing in the studio, but in regards to being an analyst, they haven't been blown away at this time. So that could be a reason why. And then plus, he's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady just.
I was about to say, it's all at the end of the day, y'all, dollars and cents. Advertising, watching, it go hand in hand.
Well, but
you got the viewership equates to ads, dollars, and you can ask somebody to be paid more. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
To that point, we haven't seen Tom Brady actually do commentary like
at
that.
All.
He can be shitty as they come, but his name is going to bring people to the TV just because he's Tom Brady. I mean, that's what it does.
I don't know, because honestly, even as a kid, when I first heard that Troy Aikman was doing commentary, I was like, Troy Aikman? Really? And he turned out to be pretty good at it, or at least he got a lot of chances to get better at it. But like, honestly, if I were to think about who would be the better analyst, I would actually think it'd probably be Drew Brees more than than Tom Brady as far as being better at that particular job. But that's just my like feeling about it, just thinking about it. Because Tony Romo is, when he played, wasn't the most popular or probably even most known person besides the fact that he played for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he turned out to be pretty good. So the best analyst isn't the most, isn't necessarily the person who was the face of the league before then. Because if it was, Peyton Manning would be the number one sought out guy to do it. John Elway would have been doing it. Dan Marino wasn't even doing play by play or color commentary that much. He was in the booth for the pregame show for CBS,
right,
for the majority of his years. I think he did it a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, so interesting, but it's going to be good though. We'll see how these games turn out to be with these, and down the years, should I say, once Brady retires, and we'll see if he's that deal or not. Once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight platform sports talk show, and now let's go ahead and get it right into some hockey. Joe, this is your moment to shine.
Let's do this, Jobo.
The playoffs are hot, and as you see on your screen, I'm gonna do a quick overview. The Colorado Avalanche, they won their series 4-0. The sweep. Right now, the Blues, they're leading their series 3-2. I forgot to put Calgary and Dallas. What's the series right now, Joe, with Calgary and Dallas? Do you know?
I think the Flames are up 3-2.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I forgot to put it on there. And then the Oilers and Kings series, the Kings are up 3-2. Florida Panthers and the Washington Capitals, the series tied at 2. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the reigning defending undisputed champions, are down right now. The Leafs are up 3-2 in that series. The Hurricanes are up 3-2 against the Boston. I'm gonna say Celtics, Boston Bruins, and then the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Right now, the Penguins are up 3-2.
I just looked. Flames and Stars are 2-2. They're back in Calgary tonight.
Okay, so Flames and Stars are tied at 2. Joe, before we get to the Blues, what has been your overall thought in regards to the playoffs in general?
It's been a lot of high scoring, and it's funny. I think that was like my first week or first month initial thought of just the NHL season as a whole this year. Just a lot of high scoring games, and that's definitely what it's been like in the playoffs too. We all knew the Avs were going to steamroll the Preds, so that's really no surprise to me whatsoever. The Canes, the Hurricanes, they've been fun to watch, and they're just unbeatable at home. So, and then the Oilers and the Kings. I'm actually really surprised by the Kings. They just went up 3-2, I think it was. Took a game in Edmonton last night in overtime. So Jonathan Quick looks like Jonathan Quick of, the early 2010s. So they've been kind of fun to watch as well.
That's what's up, man. It's definitely been exciting. I think, to me, hockey probably has to be like the toughest road to win a championship in regards to what you got to go through. T-Bone, I know you've been watching a few Blues games and everything as well. What's been your thoughts on just what you've seen so far?
I mean, the Blues, it seemed like they've had a little bit tougher time. Well, I guess it's obvious. They've had a little bit tougher time with the Wild than what they had during the season, because they swept them during the season, right? And but now, I mean, it seems like they can be hot and cold. Like, what was it? Not this past game, but the game before that. By the time I turned on the game, like, I missed like the first 5 minutes, and they were already down by 2 at that point.
Right.
It was game 3.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, what happened? I'm like, okay. And they were trying, they did their best, but it seemed like at that point things just, nothing was going to go right that day. But then, like, yesterday, by the time I turned it on, it was already, I think it was 2-1. And then, they started coming back. And then it seems like everything happened so quick because, again, I had to turn away. I had to do something for like a couple minutes. So I missed the beginning of the third. And then, like, by the time I came back, it's like 4-2 at that point. I'm like, okay, well, I can at least be happy with the score. So, But I missed everything except the final goal yesterday.
And Joe, why don't you go ahead and break down, because this series once again with the Minnesota Wild, two teams that people say are very even. The series started off, Blues won the first game, then 2 in a row for Minnesota, and we like, oh crap, this is not looking good. Billy Husso, I won't say it's all his fault at all, but it seemed like Craig Berube, which I had to give credit to him because he's always been that manager, that coach that knows how to make great adjustments, whether it's in regards to in game or just in a series. So,
and whether it's popular or unpopular too.
Exactly.
Sometimes gets heat for it, but he sticks to it. And I'll give it to the front office to let him be free reign. Not free reign, but make the tough decisions of going with this line over this line, this person on this person. So
Exactly. So I got to give a shout out to him. But what do you think has been like the biggest change from game 3 to now playing tomorrow, game 6, for hopefully a series clincher?
My thing is you got defense back now. I mean, we were playing there down 4 or 5 defensemen, after the first and second game. So you got Letty back, you got Bortuzzo back, Scandella. I don't think he's back, but he can play now if they really needed him to. So obviously that's huge, because our defense, like you said, you can't just sit there and blame Husso. That sounds like the same thing we did with Jake Allen. You can't blame Jake Allen for the years that we had him here. We had no defensemen. You had Justin Falk and Colton Parayko playing 30 minutes. Defensemen are supposed to be playing 30 minutes. Like that shouldn't be happening. So definitely getting some healthy guys back on the ice on the D line. Jordan Kyrou finally showed up. He finally woke up. Tarasenko, last night with another hat trick. Seeing him on the ice and actually, score, it's been nice. And like Michaela said last week, because Ryan O'Reilly, he just shows up in the postseason. He showed up again last night. So, and I mean, you can just tell by looking at the guy's face. One half of his face is cut up and bruised. He's taken a couple sticks to the face so far in this series. So, and then obviously, like you said, Chief making adjustments and putting Benner in there. It's not against Husso. It's just you needed a change. And right now, Benner's looking good. So you keep him in there. You got to play the hot hand.
And then what I like is how the team has stepped up. The games 4 and 5, you didn't have the lady. I'm sorry, game 4, you didn't have Letty, you didn't have Bertuzzo. You had the other guys, the youngins, coming in, stepping up to the plate, and they held things down when we thought, oh Lord.
Yeah, Perunovic, and now they got Perunovic in there for for the main power play line. So him showing up, and he was supposed to be one of our top prospects, I guess you can say, for hockey, but that's what he is. He showed up and he's doing just that. So having him in there, and then like I said, now with game 5, you got Letty and Ports back, and hopefully you can take care of business tomorrow night in the Lou, though, because I don't want to go game 7 back in Minnesota.
And I was going to mention this too. And speaking of which, before I do that, shouts out to Vladdy Tarasenko, man. Once again, this dude here, we all thought he may be traded, he may not be a Blue, but this dude has stepped up.
Yeah, we were hoping that the Kraken were going to take him for free last year, all season, and like I think we've said this like the last 3 to 5 shows, like thank God they didn't get rid of him, because he's definitely been a big bright spot. And I forgot to shout out Brendan Saad. He finally showed up. He's got the experience in the playoffs, with the Blackhawks. He's won cups. He knows what he's doing, and it was really nice seeing him get that goal last night to tie it up at 2.
Yeah.
A question. I'm not trying to bring up old stuff, but what was Tarasenko's reason why he wasn't get traded?
He was why he wasn't traded, or
why did he demand that trade? And this started from last year in the offseason. We thought he was gonna be gone, and I asked you at the beginning of the hockey season, I'm like, he's still here, he's still trying to get traded, or what's going on? And here we are. He's our hero from last game, and it seems like he's comfortable. I guess he wants to stay now, but what? Because he publicly went public with he wanted to be traded. So what was his reason?
He had a couple shoulder injuries, and he didn't like, I guess, how the Blues staff took care of it or something like that. But now he says he wants to be here for the long haul. So who cares? Who cares? I didn't like that he was, putting a stain on St. Louis and the St. Louis Blues, but he's here. He's
happy.
He's happy. He's playing happy. He just wants to win games, and that's all we can hope for.
Yeah. So once again, shouts out to the Blues. So with that being said, do you feel because like it's every time we want to get high on the Blues, they like something happens. It's like, okay, great last 2 games. But then something in me, and I want to be so wrong, y'all. I want to be so wrong. It just feels like a letdown might happen tomorrow, and the Blues, it has to be a game 7. They just have to be the cardiac Blues. What I'm saying, during this time. Do you feel that they can overcome and win tomorrow night, or will it be a game 7?
You saying that makes me think of the finals in 2019.
Right.
Everyone thought we were going to win it at home. Game 6, the streets were just nothing but blue. The town was on a high. Brendan didn't eat that day. He was so nervous, everything. And then we got our ass handed to us. I think the Bruins scored like 6 goals, like 6-2 or something like that. Just brutal. But I don't think it's like that. I did see someone on Twitter say this series kind of reminds you of the Winnipeg series, which was the first series in 2019. It kind of looked a little shaky there. And then you had like people think the Brendan Saad goal was kind of like the Schwartz goal, to tie up against Winnipeg, that crazy goal. And then you go back home and win it in 6. So hopefully that's what happens. I do not want to go to Game 7.
Right.
I'm trying
to risk it.
Back in Minnesota, Kaprizov's a stud. And he's the only one apparently right now that wants to score for the Wild, but he's pretty good, so it might be just enough. But I do think whoever wins this series might go on to beat the Avs, and I think they might end up in the finals.
Really? Okay. I like the prediction by Joe Bo. Let's go.
Let's say the Blues are going to win Game 6, so then we'll go ahead and beat the Avs, and we'll take it off. See, there he is.
Well, then whoever we play, the third round. But I don't know. It's just hockey, any sport, really. Like Bernie Michaelis would say, just get in the tournament. You don't know what's going to happen. But the Blues and the Wild were really hot going into the postseason, and I get to see either of these teams, making a very deep run.
So let's go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, T-Bone.
The Stanley Cup Finals this year. That's going to happen. What, towards the end of June, middle to end of June.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's usually how it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was always like the hockey and basketball run concurrent season, but usually like the hockey gets started with their playoffs earlier. I thought.
Well, the reason why this year because hockey started off late.
That's why. Okay.
That's why I said
the last one. The NBA finals over hockey ones.
Because that's what I was thinking. Because it seemed like everything was delayed. So I'm like, wait. Because normally everything is like a week or 2 before NBA.
We won June 12th in 2019.
Yeah, and this seems like it's going to wind up being like the middle towards the end of June.
Yeah, like around the corner, 4th of July almost. It was like, wait, what?
I would really be happy for that to happen because, I would. I'd really like for them to make finals around the 22nd.
Okay. I get what you're saying, T-Bone. I get what
you got a scheduled trip up here or something?
Something like that.
Stay tuned, Bunny. Stay tuned.
Makes sense. Okay.
Let's transition to some baseball talk. St. Louis Cardinals right now they are in second place. Right now they are winning. I have 3-0. Juan Yepes hit a home run early in the game. He's holding things down. There's been a lot going on over the last 24 hours with this team. Paul DeYoung got sent down to AAA the other day. They brought up Kramer Robinson. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, what about Nolan Gorman? How come he didn't get called up?" The whole nine. Before I I opened the floodgates for y'all to go ahead and bring in yours, especially you, Joe. I just want to go ahead and say this about the situation in regards to Nolan Gorman, in regards to Tommy Edman, to DeYoung. I've been saying this, for the last couple of years now. It just been something that I have not seen ever since he had that great season when he was a rookie or a second year, whatever it was, Paul DeYoung. Just something about this game just hasn't been the same since then. Like the game caught up with him. Team knew how to start approaching him differently. He didn't know how to make adjustments. And then when he mentioned during the All-Star break, when he was an All-Star, I think it was a hitting coach from the Dodgers that was like showing him how to handle situations better in regards to batting or whatever. So like whatever he was getting from the Cardinals organization, he wasn't really locking into it. But then when you got someone from the Dodgers or wherever team that was, that hitting coach kind of helped him out. But then you're going back to your team and you're getting $15 million opinions about how to approach hitting. And right now, it just shows to me that it's mental. And now with him going to AAA, this is going to be the biggest test of DeYoung's career. Is how can he handle things mentally? Because we know he's gifted, but how can he handle things mentally? Can he get back to a point where he can focus in on what he needs to do to bring himself back to the major leagues, which brings me to Nolan Gorman. Joe, I know you and I was chatting about it on Twitter and on the chat about him being called up. Yesterday, we thought that he should have been called up, but once again, they brought up Kramer Robinson. And then it kind of made sense to me more. I saw things more clearly. They don't want to bring up Gorman, one, because they feel like his strikeout rate is still an issue, and then they don't trust that he's still that dude on defense. There should be no way that the Cardinals, and Joe, I think you admitted this on Twitter, there should be no way that Tommy Edman should get moved from second base, because you're going to hurt your chances of being a great defensive team, something that they have banked themselves on, especially since getting Nolan Arenado. They would be dumb to move Tommy Edman from second base, which means Nolan Gorman is in a situation where he's stuck for real. Like, he's a gifted left-handed guy, but he's only good for two positions that he may not even touch because we have two other guys that's better than him and that can stay at that position for a long time. Tommy Edman right now is playing like the best second baseman in all of baseball. From defensive standpoint and statistically, offensively, he's been holding things down too. So with that being said, he has nowhere to go in regards to Nolan Gorman. Juan Yepez also fits into this problem too for Nolan. Juan Yepez has been showing out, so you can't take him out the order at all because he's balling. He has to be that DH. So I'm thinking, and I think you probably seen this on Twitter today, Joe, but I could be wrong about this, but it's very possible that Nolan Gorman may make his debut on a different team because he could be trade bait. Joe, how do you feel about that? And I say this because of the report, and I was saying this before I heard the report.
Hold on, I want to talk about it. If we're on the same thing right now.
Go ahead.
Are you talking about the X-Man?
Yes.
I see people saying they would not do that trade, and I'm sorry, Cardinals Twitter, you're dumb.
Yes, you are.
Thank dumb you. If you would not trade a 22, 21-year-old Nolan Gorman.
Thank you.
For Alexander Bogaerts, who has won 2 to 3 World Series, and he bats 2, 3, 4 hole all the time. He's a stud.
Yes.
And he would make this team 100% better.
Yes.
I understand. We've been looking forward to Nolan Gorman for a couple of years now, but like you said, Yepes is crushing right now, so he's going to get DH at bats. Right now he's playing left field because Tyler O'Neill has sucked. Then you can't move Edmund. If you guys watched the game against the Giants on Friday night.
That incredible double play.
That is, there's a couple things. I just said Tyler O'Neill sucks. Tyler O'Neill rushed to that ball down the line to prevent, I can't remember who it was, Dubon maybe getting the second. That sets up the whole double play. So his speed and his arm helps there. But Tommy Edman, starting that double play with Paul DeJong, that's why he won that game right there, That was just awesome. I was hyped in bed. It was like midnight, and I went right to the tweeter, and I was like, this is why you cannot move Tommy Edman off second base. You can't do it, That might be your best bet is you might have to trade him,
Right.
It sucks. He would probably go on elsewhere and hit monsters over the Green Monster if that's the case. But the Cardinals really handcuffed themselves with signing Dickerson and signing Albert back when it comes to this types of things. Albert, we haven't seen him played in a bit, which is fine. They keep showing him on the screen today. I don't know what they're saying, but he's helping with Juan Yepes and Brendan Donovan. Brendan Donovan, now that he's came up here, he's starting now that DeJong's gone. He had his first career home run last night. Had a 2 RBI double. So he can hold things down at shortstop for now. But I would not be upset if they traded him. And not to mention, you got Jordan Walker that's going to be up here in like 2 to 3 years, and he's crushing it. He'll be at AAA by June, July probably.
Then you got this other guy, Miguel, someone who's doing the same thing for AA as well with Jordan Walker. You got some guys. What's his name? Miguel something. He's leading like minor league baseball in home runs.
Yeah, he's got like 14, 15 home runs. I don't know. The farm system looks pretty good right now, and honestly, right now, thinking of like trade bait, I'd be okay with trading Gorman before I think about trading these pitchers like Liebertor, Zach Thompson, McGreevy, I think his name is, because you don't know what your rotation is going to look like in a year or two, with Jack Flaherty and Adam Wainwright and all that stuff. So if you got to trade Nolan Gorman to get a proven bat for a position that you've needed help in for a very long time, you do it.
And before Bunny and T-Bone bring in their thoughts in regards to the Cardinals so far, I just want to bring up, like you said before, Joe, Juan Yepes. The reason why Pujols is on this team is because Juan Yepes doing spring training, didn't show up and show out at that time, and that's why we have Pujols. And now it's amazing how the tables have turned because Yepes is pretty much taking away at bats from Pujols. Remember how they were starting to play Pujols more against righties because Corey Dickerson, who needs to be cut, $5 million wasted, is what it is.
I think he'll be gone by the end of this month.
Yeah. But Juan Yepes is showing that he cannot be out the lineup, no matter if it's a righty or a lefty, and he's taking away at bats for Pujols, which means more than likely Pujols this year may not reach that 700 mark because he's not going to get enough opportunity to do so because of Juan Yepes. But T-Bone, your thoughts?
I've been seeing some of the games. I haven't seen as many games since the past show as I had since the season had started. So I've been looking more at the records and seeing it kind of slide a little bit. I saw him lose to the Orioles yesterday. So, hopefully we get that one back today and at least stay in second place. But I've looked at, the NL with the Dodgers and the Giants and all that. Yes, the West is like
loaded.
So
the Padres are right there too.
Every team has at least the same or better record than the Cardinals.
They're either 500 or better. Yeah. Like everyone was upset that the D-backs split with us, but they just came off a series beating the Dodgers, and again they're 500 or better. Speaking of the Dodgers, they just lost another series to the Pirates tonight too. So
what?
Yeah, they lost a series to the Pirates. They lost a series to the D-backs. So, and we could hate about the Orioles, being a bad team, but they've won like 5 of their last 6. So baseball is just weird sometimes.
Bunny, your thoughts on the Cardinals season so far?
My background keeps changing. I had to get this phone charged up. So, Cardinal baseball. All that you all said regarding Yepes and Pujols. The Cardinals already know. They talked to Pujols when they were going to bring him back, sign him on, last hurrah. It was no guarantee on the at-bats he was going to get. However, I know that they probably talked to him, or maybe in Pujols went on his own. It's like, let me help develop a younger player on the squad if I can. So even if Yepes is taking away at-bats from Pujols, I believe if they want to help Pujols to get to the next milestone, you will see more play from him now. Even though y'all saying he's taking at-bats away, because once the All-Star break hits, depending on where the Cardinals are, if they're in contention, Pujols is going to see less at-bats, honestly. So this is the best time for him to try to get to that milestone or closer and develop Yepes. Because you know what happens, like y'all talking about DeJong, while he got sit down to the minors, the pitching staffs of these other teams are going to get used to you. Especially if you're a rookie. They're going to be like, let's see if we can exploit his weakness real fast. If they can't, then you know, okay, Yepes is here and he's really good. But it just takes only a few road trips or a few, play against other teams that they can adjust and you don't have a good at bats and you're not looking good, then of course and they're gonna put Pujols back in there to get those at bats back. But like I said, this is up until the All-Star break. After that, if we're in contention, that's gonna change. If you hope Yepes, not trying to hate on Pujols, but I hope he does, could sustain what he's doing and help our team so we can get in first place and get a better playoff spot. But time will tell. Like I say, ow.
Yepes isn't going to bat 600, and he's not going to do this all year. Obviously, that's just not even the best of the best do that. So,
right, people go get adjustment. It's all about adjustment. Yeah. The pitcher staff know how to adjust to him, then he's going to get exploited real fast.
Yeah, but Albert's still going to get his at bats. They told him exactly what was going to happen whenever they signed him. You know, it's mainly going to be against lefties. He's batting 120 against righties, so there's no need for him to really be in there. If Yepes is hitting both, then he's your guy for right now.
You mean to tell me that there's this established player in Pujols who is cool and okay with helping to develop and mentor the younger people on this team?
Unlike a quarterback from the Tennessee Titans who don't like to mentor the future and ain't like he's great himself, but
heck no.
You know where I was really going with that. The one that I've been bringing up for the past couple months.
Yeah.
We've been talking about LeBron. Shots off again, T-Bone.
Let's go ahead real quick before we bring in our special guest because he's ready to go ahead and tell this story as well. So real quick, before we let the ladies go and everything, I know ladies, Joe and Bunny, I got to go ahead and split real quick, but I'm gonna skip a topic that we had planned. We'll save it for next week. NBA talk real quick. Let's go in regards to the bracket right now as we speak on the East. Miami, Philadelphia 76ers, the Heat are up 3-2 as they play tomorrow in Philadelphia. Right now, the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks are tied at 2, but the Celtics have looks like a 18-point lead over.
Not 18. I'm watching it now. It's
I'm sorry, a 11-point lead. My bad. Over the Bucks right now. So Boston is up in that series in the West. The Golden State Warriors are up 3-1. Once again, John Morant, he is out for the rest of the playoffs. So I think that series is over. And then this has been a great series as well. I thought it'd be a sweep at first, but then the Mavericks came back at home. But now, as you see on your screen, the Mavericks are down against the Suns 3-2. Real quick, y'all thoughts, Bunny, in regards to the NBA playoffs? What series has stood out to you or players?
Well, I know I touched a bit on it earlier. You already touched about John Moran and Grizzlies, but this series here with the Celtics and the Bucks, because the Bucks are the defending champions, and they were pretty much picked to be the favorites again out of the East. But the Celtics, like I said, Tatum is showing up clutch. Like, it's my team. Last game, he'd helped a lot. And Horford, there was like what somebody say, a sleeping giant has been awakened.
Right.
So I believe the Celtics can actually take the Bucks now. They proved to me they got it. This is fourth quarter, 9 minutes to go. Let's see what happens. If the Celtics win this game, which in 9 minutes I believe they will, I believe they can take this series. That not say they win the next one, but they'll go 7 games. Now, coming out the West, I'm a CP3 fan all day. I want him to get this ring. I thought it was going to be a shoe-in too. Luka woke up when they hit it on in Dallas. They was like, hey, we here, we for real. So that's a series that I was a little nervous. I believe the Suns can pull it off. I'm nervous because Dallas, they haven't won there yet. They got to go back there.
Right.
So
Right.
we shall see. But they should be able to come through in the clutch. It's just Ayton. Ayton's been okay, but he needs to be more dominant. Because I was talking to my husband. I was like, hey, if the Suns coming out of the West, Milwaukee comes out of the East, who you think will win it? And it's almost like deja vu. He's like, well, you had this last year, and you see what the Bucks did. He was like, Ayton is not as dominant. Giannis is killing them. Ayton will have to be more dominant for the Suns to actually dethrone the Bucks. But here, the way it's going, the Bucks might even have a chance to finish.
Exactly.
We'll see. It ain't looking good for them, and I'm rooting for Tatum and our St. Louis boys, so we shall see.
T-Bone, your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I have not been able to watch any of the actual games. I've just been checking the brackets, but I am still.
Oh, the sound effects! I love it.
Look, it's been a busy few weeks, but once we get past this round, I will be looking to see what Golden State is doing because that's the team that I'm looking forward to taking the whole thing.
Yeah, and once again, as I said before, it sucks that Ja Morant is out for the rest of the playoffs. That just takes the air out the sails for Memphis, and I think Golden State will go ahead and finish the deal because they want to rest up and get ready for the next round. I do feel Boston will go ahead and hold things down and win that series. Miami Heat and Philadelphia series.
About that one, yeah.
That series, I have Miami winning that series. I think that they're just too deep.
If Embiid wasn't injured the first 2 games, do
right.
you think they would be
it would be different. It would be different. And then also James Harden just isn't that dude no more. He can't be someone that can be that guy like he used to be. But because once again, Embiid, he's playing, but he's not 100%. And it's just a difference. And Miami is just so deep. You got people like Victor Oladipo coming off the bench
and still got some points in them to give.
So that's how deep they are. So I have them in this series. And in regards to Phoenix Suns, I have them winning that series. I think they'll win in Dallas. Last thing, I want to go ahead. I had this up last month. I want to go and bring this up now because everyone now, we do have the winners of each one. So in regards to the NBA awards, MVP is Nikola Jokic.
I feel some type of way about that, but keep going.
The rookie of the year is Scotty Barnes from the Toronto Raptors. Sixth man of the year is Tyler Hero. Coach of the year, Monty Williams from the Suns. NBA Most Improved Player, Ja Morant for the Grizzlies, and Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart from the Celtics. Once again, Bunny, you were saying that you got some issues with that MVP, huh?
I know Jokic had some good numbers, but over Embiid had some. I got the baby here, so let me not use that word. Some bomb numbers. I would just say that. Okay, and back to back. If you look at stuff from years ago, Kobe couldn't even get back to back, and y'all know how much Kobe. Hell, LeBron didn't get no back to back MVPs, dude. And Jokic is like that,
Actually, he did, Bunny. LeBron did get back to back. Yeah.
Okay, well, good, but I'm still like Jokic again. I'm not hating. I said his numbers are really, really good at work, but I'm looking at Embiid numbers and I'm comparing him like, yeah. I would have given that to Embiid, but I'm not a sports writer, so my 2 cents doesn't matter. But I'm like, come on, league. I still think that was conspiracy behind that, but it is what it is.
And with that being said, Bunny, Joe. I know y'all have to go ahead and leave. So thank y'all for y'all contributions and look forward to next time.
All
Good night,
right.
guys.
Smooth be out. And T-Bone, I see that 49ers shirt. We'll touch on them next time because, yeah, more proud of you for representing them. That's all I can say. Night, gentlemen. Night, Joe
Bye,
Bird.
guys. Good night.
Night.
All right. Once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight. I am your boy Smooth, and right over here we have
T-Bone.
There we go. Once again, give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe, click on that bell. We also will have our show as soon as it's done. It'll be uploaded on Roku TV, all the Roku TV devices. And then, of course, you can listen right now. Download Hot 365 Radio, crystal clear HD. Our voices sound sexy, y'all, on that HD app. You can also go to hot365radio.com and listen to the show right now as we speak. Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. And now it is that time. We need everyone. First time watchers, thank you very much. This show has been going on strong for 5 years, y'all. Every Wednesday night, consistently, we just do our thing. We have a great time with it. We have great guests, and it does not stop now. And yes, Mrs. Calvin, get excited because it is that time. This man here, he is the executive director of Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. He is a husband. He is a father, excuse me. He is a survivor of gun violence. He's a happy, once again, happy married man. He's doing so many things for the community. We look forward to hearing his story. And he also has a commercial. Let's check it out.
It's crunch time, so you know I'm going in. Negativity heavy, but I'm determined to win. Giving up ain't an option, I'm pulling through to the end. Cause when you put them fists up, you can get up and fight again. Gloves up, guns down. That proper preparation to make you stand out the crowd. A choice to change your life, this is something to make you proud. Give your time to something positive, no more bodies around. Gloves up, guns down. Pick them gloves up, put them guns down. Pick them gloves up, put them guns down. 10266 West Florissant Ave.
Guns down, gloves up.
There we go. Everyone, let's go ahead and share this stream, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, you're on Twitter. Share this stream right now because we're about to introduce this man who's doing so much for the youth, so much for the Lou. He has a big event coming up that he's going to go ahead and break down very soon. But without any further ado, the platform Sports Talk Show brings to you the one and only Mr. Darrick. Calvin, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, brother?
Welcome to the show. Got the love from everybody on social media. We loving it. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm doing okay.
That's what's up, man. And I got to go and start this off. You hit me up a while back, and you wanted to be on this show. From like I want to say around January, February. What was it about being on this show that you wanted to be on so much?
First of all, you got one of the best shows in the loop. And one day I was watching and I seen my cousin Corey on there, and I seen Devin Alexander on there, and I see a lot of great people on there, Larry Hughes. And I say, I want to be on this show and tell my story. So I inbox you and you made it happen.
Yeah, man. I definitely appreciate you reaching out to me when you did. And I was definitely looking forward to having you on the show because I have a feeling that you definitely have a great story to tell. That's what this show is all about. T-Bone, You have a man who loves boxing. T-Bone is the guy who is a former professional wrestler. So not saying boxing and wrestling the same thing, but it's a lot of contact going on there.
According to the state of Missouri, they're the same thing because they're both regulated by the same commission.
There it is. There it is. So once again, we're happy to have you on the show, Mr. Darrick Calvin. And we all like to have to start our interviews off with asking, when will you say that you fell in love with sports?
Oh man, probably my whole life. I come from a boxing family. I love the Cardinals. I love the Rams. I love everything about St. Louis sports. So I say way back in the '80s, since I was a kid.
That's what's up, man. What was that very first sport that you like really gravitated to?
The Cardinals, Whitey ball.
Yeah,
Whitey
that was definitely a great era. What was it about that era with Whitey ball that really like got you like, you know what, I want to watch this?
Because he kept it simple and basic. If you remember that team, we didn't really have a lot of power hitters, but we had a lot of blue collar, simple and basic baseball. And Whitey ball was some of the best ball I ever seen.
Do you feel that some of that kind of baseball needs to be shown now in the game, especially with the Cardinals?
Yes, very much. A lot of people, I know the home run good, but the basic, we got to go back to the basic with the Vince Coleman's and the Willie McGee's and the Ozzie Smith era. That's when baseball was fun.
T-Bone, do you recall any of that Whitey ball baseball back in the day?
I was going to say, I know Joe would love to hear that. but those were some of the first games I went to when I was like, small, didn't really know anything that was going on at all. Just happy to be at the big stadium and see all the players and stuff. So, when we were naming people from the past, remember I named Tom Pagnazzi because that was one of the people that I could remember from one of the first games I went to. So, I have vague memories because I don't have details, but obviously that was when I first started watching the Cardinals.
Shouts out to that DeAndre No Mind Barber. He's showing you love, Darrick. How does it feel just being able to see people commenting already and showing you love, man?
Oh, it feels good. He's someone I grew up with in the neighborhood. Good guy. He always supporting the kids too. A lot of guys I be around, support the kids. Even when we was younger, we always supported the kids in our neighborhood. Whether bump out man come or whatever, we always looked out for the kids because that's what we like to do.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's love. Not a lot of people step up to the plate as you have over the past, up 10 years to look out for the kids and just be there for them. So definitely salute to you and to others who are doing the same thing as well. Going to boxing, what was it about boxing that made you just fall in love with that?
Just going to the gym all the time with my cousins when we were little and just seeing what Leon and Michael Spinks did for the city and the community and know where they came from. Just to see all that, to see them throwback boxers who work hard and give it all they got and to throw on a great show, I just fell in love with the sport.
Miss Williams says it's like 3-pointers and basketball. They're exciting, but you can't depend on them alone. Yep, that's very, very, very true. So sticking with that boxing and you fall in love with it. How would you describe yourself as a young athlete? What was like one of your first sports that you played when you was younger? And then in regards to boxing, how were you as a boxer?
I think I would have been one of the best boxers of all time, but at one point I didn't listen to my teacher, and my mama had to show me who was the boss and pull me out. But my first love was baseball.
Okay. And what was your favorite position, or what spot did the coach have you play?
All of them, because I'm versatile.
Hey, there we go. Hey, and we always be talking about not just having one sport or just sticking to one thing. So it's definitely important to be able to spread your talents around, not in just one area. So how big were you as a youth, not just sticking to this one sport, but playing as many sports as possible?
I played a lot of sports: boxing, baseball, basketball. That was the way to keep us off the streets, and that's what I try to do with my program, to do something to keep them off the streets. So I made it bigger than just boxing. I was showing them other ways to stay off the street, and kids have fun, and that's all I want to see is the kids to go back to being kids and having fun again.
And how would you say your career was as a boxer? Not saying you went professionally, but just in regards to you as a youngster doing your thing as a boxer.
Man, I wasn't letting nobody beat me up, so I would have been a hell of a boxer. I wasn't letting nobody beat me up. That wasn't happening.
Mm. So you haven't seen multiple times now what you could have been. So what was it that stopped you from continuing on to be a boxer?
Being young and becoming a victim of gun violence myself at the age of 16, and it put me in a wheelchair, and I just had to use my talents in other ways and show the youth how to get off the streets. So that's what I did.
Yeah, and it's great that you're able to, use our show and other platform that you have been on to let people who are, young people, should I say, who's thinking about taking this route, and that route, not the correct route. And I hope that by the end of this interview, they're able to really hone in to, you know what, let me stop playing. Let me stop trying to do other stuff that's not going to benefit my life and help me out in the goals that I want to reach. So we hope that by the end of this show that you're able to really touch other hearts that need to be touched right now. So continue, please feel free to be as transparent, because the more transparent, the better it is for those to be able to finally hit home to them that, you know what, let me stop doing this, let me stop doing that, and live right. So definitely commend you in regards to, once again, you being on this show. Have you gotten into training or coaching boxers?
Yes, I train the kids myself. I have 4 coaches, and they all hands on. And when I say these are some good brothers, man, they give up their time every week just to come and help these kids. We got a lot of kids in the gym, and when I say I got some of the best coaches, they like my brothers. And even my wife a coach, and she do a good job. And seeing the team that we put around these kids, man, it's amazing. It's just amazing, especially to the kids, because they gravitate to all the coaches, not just me, but all of them. So it wasn't just me, it's every last one of them guys who come there every single week and work and be hands-on with these kids.
So as you were coming up as a boxer and then now as a trainer, who were some people that you looked up to, who taught you the ropes, who was your mentor growing up, and then who you would take some stuff off of as a trainer to help train others?
This man named Mr. Ham and Kevin Cunningham, them two right there. And
Mm,
also one more, Buddy Shaw.
that's what's up. Yeah, definitely gotta talk about Kevin Cunningham very soon. I see DeAndre says, my big bro pulled me away from the streets. Can you further elaborate with that?
Yes, they was little youngsters in the neighborhood, and they had tried to skip school, and I was always the big brother to all of them. Like, no, you're not skipping school. You going to school today, and they used to listen to me, all of them, and that's why he's still out here right now today, and he's doing wonderful with his life.
That's love right there. How do you feel with the youth nowadays going through so much with social media and peer pressure? There's just so much that's going against them right now. Of course, police brutality is going. There's just so much that's going on. How is it compared to maybe you starting off 10 years ago to how it is now dealing with the youth?
It's very, very, very hard dealing with the youth now because a lot of them don't have respect. Even though I come from where I come from, but we always respected our elders no matter what. If we see someone coming in and we help them with their groceries and so on and so on. these kids today, they don't care. They won't even pull up their pants in front of the elder people. And that's something that I really don't like because we did all that. And I just try to talk to these kids and let them know that you do have a chance. You don't have to be on these streets. A lot of these guys are pressure on these streets because of where they come from. And they think they look cool doing all that. Then when your mama bury you, you'll realize it wasn't cool because you're not here no more.
And T-Bone, do you feel like with you doing what you're doing with HBCW Wrestling, I know that you already have a lot of, people that's almost already there to the pros, but do you feel like HBCW is like a safe haven or a safe place for those to not focus on outside of the ring, but focus on positive things, being involved and being a part of HBCW Wrestling?
It's a little bit different because, I wouldn't consider anybody here, what we would typically consider at risk.
Mm-hmm.
That typically would be more like, like for me, it would be like when I can get to the point where I can, start paying for somebody to go to a wrestling school, to the Devon Dudley Academy. But, so those are the type of things that I'm interested in doing eventually. Cause with me with wrestling, being Black, there's not a lot of people who, especially growing up in St. Louis where they would have even thought that was something that was an option of something to do, so it's it's kind of similar, I'm trying to find different avenues for people to do. So coming to St. Louis eventually, I want one of my goals, one of my dreams would be to go back to Normandy and have a wrestling show at Viking Hall and do something where, people can get in there and just see something that they don't see all the time. So, I completely understand. It's something I'm looking forward to doing eventually, is helping back and presenting opportunities to people that they didn't even know it was possible.
And Miss Williams has, I love the slogan, Darrick, in your ad, gloves up, guns down. Kids need to know there's a better way to live.
Thank you, Miss Williams.
Yeah, she's she is our number one fan of the Platform Sports Talk Show, our faithful follower. Yancey says, good stuff, bro. We here for you, bro. So once again, some more comments is coming in. People are showing you love. Once again, I know that has to feel, amazing.
Yes, it do. I get shown, and I get a lot of people saying they proud of me, but the work not done yet. So I told them, when we see the change in these kids and the parents telling us the change in them kids, then y'all could tell me you proud of me. Right now, I just stay humble and just want to keep helping these kids. I don't want to just do it sometime. I want to do it all the time.
And then, of course, your wife, Tink Calvin, says, I'm so proud of my husband and our LC team. Describe the LC team.
That stands for Leon Calvin. The Leon Calvin, and she played a big role in it. When I'm asleep, she up doing work every day, every night. She up ordering this, she doing that. When I say she's a truly amazing woman, she truly is. It wouldn't be no Leon Calvin gym if it wasn't for her.
Hey, that's what's up, man. And speaking of wives, shouts out to my wife, Jamie. Love you to death. Definitely, it just feels good to be able to have that woman that is your number one supporter, your backbone. T-Bone, I know you can relate as you are doing things with HBCW, just having that wife that holds you down and say, hey, whatever you do, I got you. You have my 100% support.
She recorded all the matches last year, so she figured out a way to help get all that footage, and she did pretty good with that. So I was happy, always happy to have her, by my side, and for me to be by her side.
Yeah, that's lovely. So to all the ladies out there, all the wives out there, we salute you, because once again, we aren't nothing without that support from all of y'all. So thank y'all very much. And continuing on with our great conversation, we have once again Darrick Calvin. He's the executive director of Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. Another comment from DeAndre, and keep them comments coming, y'all. We want to go ahead and flower this man with as many flowers as possible while he's on the show. That's why we do this. Says, growing up on that dirty north, a lot of us would not have made it if we didn't have you and my other big bros, and you know what it is.
Yeah, they go back to be saying that, yeah, I played a big role in helping my community because I wasn't going to be that yes man. Because if you have everybody as your yes man, who going to be there to tell you the truth? And I told them the truth, especially when they was skipping school and doing things. I know we from the hood, but we was trying to find a way to get out of it, get out the hood. And I was that guy to tell them when they was wrong or when they was right.
And you brought up earlier in regards to you being a victim of gun violence, and you said you were just pretty much doing things that you pretty much shouldn't be doing. Are you able to just elaborate in regards to what happened during that time frame? How did you get caught up? And then just you having that positive mindset to say, you know what, I've been a victim, but it's not going to stop me from being a positive person and affect people's lives in a positive way.
Yes, I did. I mean, I had one too many fights being young. So we had one too many fights, and I guess the fight spilled over to them wanting to shoot me. So I ended up going into the hospital, becoming paralyzed, and I had to figure things out. So when I went there, true story, I seen the 11-year-old girl who came there, and she was like burnt up from head to toe. So when I looked at her and I realized, wow, she was kind of worse out. So I told myself, when I get myself stronger and I get out this hospital, I'm gonna come back and talk to her. And true story, I did. When I came home, I got stronger, and I realized I wasn't going to let this stop me. So I was going to use what I learned on the street to help other people. So I went back to St. John Mercy just to talk to this little girl. She was a number 11. And that conversation went a long way with her. So that made me the person that who I am today, saying I'm going to help others. All because I seen what she went through.
And when was that period that you met Mrs. Tink Calvin? Was that already during your younger years or after you was already paralyzed? Because I know that had to be hard for her to deal with as well, knowing that, going through what you have been going through and her being the supportive wife that she has shown over the years.
At the time, I didn't know her. At the time, I met her much later, but she was like my biggest supporter when I did meet her. We was friends. Then we became more than friends, and we've been married going on 9 years. We've been together for 11 years.
That's beautiful, man. Once again, congrats to you and to your marriage. Mrs. Williams says, Mr. Calvin, you never know the effect you have on kids until one of them comes to you and says, I appreciate what you did for me.
Thank you. I get that a lot because I don't only just teach them how to box. I feed them all the time on my own pocket. I buy them their own equipment. I bought every last one of them a uniform. And where a lot of gyms may charge you $200 or $300 a month, my program was only $60 for the whole year, so I could make it affordable for everybody. And including in that $60, I bought them a uniform, feed them every time they at the gym, and the parents be like, only $60 a year? Yeah, I just want to make it affordable. And my main mission was just to get the kids off the street and end some of this gun violence.
Man, that's wonderful. Wonderful that you have done all these things for the youth and for others. Once again, just to provide a positive light. Once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. Right over here we have
T-Bone Funk.
And right below we have
Darrick Calvin.
There he is. No rehearsal needed. He was ready. He ain't gotta say nothing. He know what's up on the platform sports talk show. You can tell he watched the show in the past right there. So definitely love it. So continuing on, you brought this up earlier, but you are a member of a boxing family, the Spinks. As you said before, we had Corey Spinks on, and that was an incredible interview. Please feel free for those watching for the first time. Just follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter. You'll see the archives of our show, definitely on YouTube, and you'll see the interview with Corey Spinks. Great interview, a very humble guy, had a great time with him. But how does it feel just being to be a part of a boxing family like the Spinks?
For me, it's just like he just like a regular person because we was born and raised in the same house. We come in a house with 50 people in one big house. We was that type of family. It was about 50 of us in one house, and Corey was all us was newborns. We was more like brothers and cousins in one big old house. So I was just used to it, and I knew Corey was gonna be special because I seen them in him young. But not only Corey, the older brother, which is Leon Calvin, which is who I named the gym after, and that's Leon Spink's oldest son. He was a victim of gun violence back in 1990. So Darryl Spinks is Leon's second son. I went to Darryl like, let's start a gym in honor of Leon. So he was like, bet. So I started getting the process rolling, and I knew it was gonna help Darryl in the process also. And during the process, Darryl ended up passing on me, and that destroyed me. I mean, literally destroyed me. I wanted to quit, and got a conversation from this detective I grew up with, and she know our family. She was like, no, 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 don't quit. Just do it for Darryl and Dick Brew. And I thought about it, and I continue on to make the process happen. Reached out to my best friend, which is Philip Russell, and a couple of more guys like, let's make this happen. And the rest was history. Ended up opening up the gym, went from 10 kids to 70 kids to 90 kids off the street less than a year.
And on a lighter note, because anytime I speak about Corey Spinks, and I brought this up, I even had the video, but when he had his match at the time, it was the Savage Center, I believe, and Zab Judah, and he came down to that Nelly, and he had everybody going crazy. I'm pretty sure you was there at that.
Oh, yeah,
at that
front row.
Can you just give us your point of view from when the lights went off and then Nelly came down with Corey Spinks and can we live here? Yeah. Just tell us just that vibe of that night in your perspective. Take your time. We want to get as much as you can give us. Just explain from your point of view, just that night, that entrance. We know that the fight didn't end on great terms, but
Right.
you think about that fight, and you think about just the entrance. That's what I take away from it of anything else was the incredible entrance and the energy that was brought that night.
Oh yeah, I've been to all the Corey fights, everywhere he fought. But that night, that energy was some of the best energy of any show that I've been to. But the thing is, Corey not gonna make no excuse about Corey will fight anybody. But I was talking to Corey during the whole camp, and I'm one the only person on this earth who knew that Corey had Crohn's at that time of the fight. Corey wasn't gonna tell nobody because Corey got heart of a lion. And when I was talking to him during the time, and I knew he had Crohn's, and I know what Crohn's do to him because he still get it right now. And when he got to St. Louis, because if you remember, Zab got here first. And then Corey came 3 days later. And when I seen Corey face for the first time on the news, and I said to myself, "Oh my God!" And then my wife, like, why you say that? Because if you know your people, you know your people. And I seen the look in Corey's face, and I knew Corey was sick. But like I said, Corey won't make no excuse because Corey did something nobody ever did. Brung up over 22,000 people. The night was beautiful, but the ending, yeah, it happened. You know, he moved on or whatever. But Corey had Corona that fight. We would never say nothing. This is probably the first time anybody ever said something because I knew that personally. I was talking to him every day while he was in camp.
Man,
as a person who knows a little bit about Crohn's, because that's why I actually stopped wrestling. I have Crohn's disease. I didn't find it out until well after I started wrestling, and then once I found out, things that was one of those life comes at you fast moments. So, but you know, I can definitely relate to dealing with Crohn's.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. I think Corey did tell us about that, and I think it was talks that he was saying before that maybe the fight shouldn't be going on, but he kept going. but he did hold things down. That's one thing I would say is that he definitely, if not any other person, he definitely brought the attention of boxing to the Lou. And then right behind him, years down the line, you have guys like Devin Alexander who represented St. Louis as well. So with that being said, they both had trainers by the name of Kevin Cunningham. How big of a impact did he have in your life like he had with Corey and Devin?
He have a big impact in my life. Actually, he was just here Monday. If you look at my phone, you will see I got over hundreds of texts with Kevin. That's who I call for advice all the time. That's who I go to for all my advice. Even before I started, that's who give me a lot of my advice and give me a lot of game. But also I sat back and watched him when he was with Corey was with him. And I was around. I was around in rooms. I was around. I synced everything. I was around when Corey was dealing with Don King. So I synced a lot. So I really just sat back and studied the way that Kevin was doing it with them. And this guy named Mr. Ham. And I talked to Kevin probably Monday. I texted him Monday and asked him when he coming back. And because I want him to come to the fight on the 28th. He was actually here on, matter of fact, he was here on Mother's Day. He left out Monday. But he gave me a lot of advice. I mean, tons of advice. That's who I go to. That's my go-to guy.
Nice. And Miss Williams earlier says Crohn's is more common than people realize.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I seen them deal with it, man. I seen them, man. It's hard to go one round, and he made it all the way to 10. But
Right.
to people who not, relatives or boxers, it was hard for us to watch that fight. It was hard for me to watch every fight Corey ever had because I want to make sure he come out the ring safe and healthy first and foremost. So it was really hard for me to watch Corey fights.
Mm. And how do you feel boxing is in regards to the Lou? How do you feel boxing has been represented right now in the Lou overall, in regards just the state of boxing in St. Louis?
Oh man, it's a lot of nice up and coming kids and fighters is coming out of St. Louis right now. I think a lot of them synced what Corey and Devin did, and I think they want to do it now. It's a lot of the nice boxers up and coming. Even with the youth, I see how hard the youth boxer come and work out in the gym. Cause I show them videos of Corey, I show them videos of other boxers. I bring Devin Alexander there. Like last Friday, we had Evander Holyfield in the building, and all the kids started bringing out their phones, Googling up Holyfield because they was a little young. And once they synced what they synced, it was like, wow. And they enjoy that moment.
Yep, and as you see on the screen, you have a picture of the kids along with our special guest, Darrick Calvin, and the great Evander Holyfield. That's over at Delwood Rec, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Yep, I recall that that field right there. But that's a great picture of it, Evander Holyfield.
Yes, sir.
How
Actually,
the
I was
kids?
on a three-way with him today.
What? We should have had him on the show then. He should have told me.
Yes, my good friend Michael Cross called him because he wanted to come back down. So I was really getting his clothes side. So I talked to him earlier today.
So how does it feel being able to have those type of relationships with guys like Evander Holyfield?
Oh, it feel good because I see that the kids feel good. Like I tell my kids all the time, you never know who I'm gonna have coming through and seeing y'all. Y'all got greatness in the building. Evander Holyfield, that's greatness.
Ms. Williams says it means a lot when a celebrity like Holyfield takes the time to show up.
Yes, and he was humble. He's supposed to stay for 15 minutes. Holyfield stayed for 3 hours. That's how much fun he had with them kids.
What was the reaction from the kids seeing Holyfield?
Oh, they always gave him a standing ovation. And for the ones who didn't know him because they were young, they Googled him up. And then next thing you know, they wanted pictures. He talked to them for hours. He gave them a few pointers. He watched them spar. He watched them hit the mittens. And they was excited. Then their parents found out. All them came in, and more people came in. It was just a big old thing. And he signed autographs. He was real humble. Real humble.
That's a beautiful thing. to be able to have a guy like Evander Holyfield to hold things down for you. Who would you say just overall is your favorite boxer?
Or right now in the game or whoever.
I would say back in the day and then right now.
Of course, I'm gonna say Corey and Michael and Leon. And right now, I like Terry Crawford,
Okay. Okay.
Earl Spence. Them two right there.
So definitely got to go ahead and be fair. So outside of family, who would you say?
Outside of family, I consider Devin Alexander as my family because I've been around him since 7. So I'm gonna say Devin, Sugar Ray. I like them throwback boxers. Cornell, Sugar Shane,
Mm-hmm.
Tito Trinidad, Atua Gotti, because he had a heart of a lion. And like them throwback boxers. Pacquiao, he was cool. And Mayweather, he cool. I know they're gonna say, "Oh, Mayweather the best." Mayweather, he cool.
He definitely got to elaborate. So why you just say he cool?
Because he is. He cool. I mean, I'm used to fighting, man. We come from fighting, from he cool. I love what he doing, especially with his mind, and I love the way that he treated the game. But for as like them Sugar Rays and them Marvin Haglers and them Tony, what's his name? James Tony, them Roy. I like action.
So you see the difference between a fighter and an avoider?
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand. The type of fighters you're talking about are the ones that if I were to pay money to see, those are the ones I want to see. I wouldn't want to see somebody basically avoid getting hit and, sneak in when he can and avoid for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, I agree. And Mr. Fred, I mean, true story. If you Google up, him and Corey supposed to fight and fought. I was with Corey. I was with him. Listen, when they called and canceled the fight, Corey was heated because somebody knew that, man, let me tell you something about them St. Louis boys. They know everybody say, "Oh, Mayweather, y'all can say what y'all want, but I know my people." At that time, he would have beat Mayweather. And because they were like, "Oh man, they known for upset." Or whatever. Corey was excited about that fight, but he was mad when it got stripped from him for bothering. He was mad. He was mad.
Let's see. DeAndre says Maximilian is that Aridon, that's his last name. And then Miss Williams says Larry Holmes was her favorite boxer. She loved his technique and how he made such a good use of his long reach.
Yes. I liked Larry until he ran into Michael.
Oh. You know what I'm saying? And then Tyson ran into Holyfield and couldn't recover, huh?
Couldn't recover. And another thing, man, my kids, only thing they remember, they was like, "Can we see Holyfield?" I'm like, "No, leave that man alone." That man, that's a long time ago. You know today, kid. I'm like, "No, leave that man alone." It was kid, they just Google, they just say the and they like, "Can we?" I'm like, "No."
You know what? I've seen Holyfield in person one time at a Braves game, and I wasn't even worried about the ear. What was amazing to me was just how much bigger he was than what I even realized just seeing him in person. Like, dude, he's like he was big. Like, back then, TV doesn't translate as well to real life. So that was my impression. Him and Shaq are the two people that, well, Shaq's a whole different story. I didn't like.
He big boy.
I ain't like feeling like a child when I was standing next to Shaq.
And you know what? Now that he brought it up, because of course, being in boxing, you always meet celebrities. So, who has been that one celebrity that you've always wanted to meet that you actually had the chance to meet? And then, second part is, who is a celebrity that you would love to meet?
The one celebrity that I met was Allen Iverson. We was at New Jersey. Corey had just fought my yoga. And this true story, y'all, my friends will tell y'all, we was on a parking lot. And Allen Iverson went behind one of the cars to take a leak. And we synced him. So when he came back over, he was finna shake my hand. But all I'm thinking about, man, you just took the leak. I don't care who you is. So he hit me in my chest. True story, like, y'all some cool brothers coming all the way to New Jersey from St. Louis to see Corey fight Mayorga. But I just remember him behind that car, so I wasn't shaking his hand.
I don't care what kind of hand sanitizer you had. I ain't shaking your hand.
We synced him. So he pounded my chest like, y'all some good brothers. He told all us, me and my friend, y'all, but this my family. I'll go anywhere Corey fought at. I'll go wherever.
Ms. Williams says Richard Pryor said the same thing about Muhammad Ali in regards to the size and how big he was. So who was a celebrity that you would love to meet? You know, just being out there supporting fighters and going to different events.
Probably celebrity I love to meet. For as a boxer.
No, just in general. Whoever.
Or just in general. My guy's Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Okay.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, he kind of came out of hiding during the Super Bowl. Ain't seen him in years in person. And he held things down. So that was dope. So you were talking about the community. So I want to go ahead and play this real quick and then we'll continue on.
The violence ends with me, thanks to Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. Join Leon Calvin Boxing Gym for Guns Down, Gloves Up, Stop the Violence show, an event to help the young men in our community break cycles of violence. On May 28th, join special guest Michael Spinks to see the tourney and learn about how boxing is changing lives. All proceeds go to the mission of ending violence in St. Louis. Register today at lcboxing.com or call us at 314-225-8744. See you May 28th for Guns Down, Gloves Up at the Dalewood Recreation Center.
So tell everybody about that event.
May the 28th. We throwing a Guns Down, Gloves Up, Stop the Violence show before we could try to help in some of the gun violence in St. Louis. We know it's going to get hot, and I think everybody in St. Louis tired of seeing our babies die. I know I am. We tired of seeing these babies die. So I decided to throw a Stop the Violence show to give some of the kids their first fight, and I reached out and got on the phone, made a phone call to get Michael to sign some gloves so I could give to the kids. So after he signed them, and it was just that easy, I said, well, since he signed them gloves, maybe he'll come here in person. So got on the phone to see could we get him down here in person, and he agreed to come down in person. So he coming down to see the kids fight for the first time to help clear some of this violence. So I had to go get the GOAT.
Go get the GOAT. And talk about this, the different levels. You had the platinum, the gold, the silver, the bronze. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that?
It's basically you could help sponsor this show, and we'll give you perks. You get the 10,000, 5,000. We'll put your logo. We'll shout you out. All proceeds go back to helping the kids in the city to keep them fed, to get them a bus, just to keep them off the streets. The more kids I could keep off the street, the better the crime will go down, and some of the older people be and feel good about coming outside. These old women and old men don't want to be outside with what's going on. So I'm trying to help many kids get off the street as I can. So I offer a package for people to help sponsor these kids. And like I said, all proceeds go back to them.
That's a beautiful thing, man. So where can people go online to be able to see about being a part of this event?
They could go to www.lcboxing.com.
There it is right there. So make sure everyone y'all go there and show our special guest some love. Let's talk about also in regards to just the Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. For those who are interested in it, just tell them a little bit about the gym and everything that you provide. I see that you're very, very, very big in regards to taking care of those who are hungry. You also are really very big in regards to providing summer programs, school supply giveaways, swimming parties, team birthday parties, field trips, and more. Just give us some more from your mouth in regards to the Leon Calvin Boxing Gym.
Yeah, we very big on giving back. School supplies, I was planning on giving my box. I gave all the box to school supplies. I hit another school supply drive in the county. Then I went back to my old neighborhood and gave out school supplies. I reached 1,000 kids this year just giving back. Only supposed to did one, but I ended up doing three school supply drives to make sure I went gave the kids, gave the county kids, and I gave the city kids where I'm from. We offer tutoring. We like I said, we bring in different people like Devin them to talk to the kids, Holyfield. There's different people, even me. A lot of them kids come to me, need advice, and I give them advice. If I see a kid hungry and he want to eat more than once, I let them eat more than once. I let them eat as much as they want. It may be the only meal they had for that whole day. So I make sure they eat. We do skating. I throw swimming parties for them. Man, we take them to the park. We be having a barbecue, and then I invite their family, they sibling, they brothers and sisters. I just make it feel like a brother and sisterhood. And since them kids been coming, a lot of them feel like they met a new brother and a new sister. They just be having fun. So I just try to do what I can.
And how much does it mean for you to be able to give back to the loop?
Oh, it mean everything. I'm from this place. I know this place, and I know what some of these kids need. So I love giving back. I've been giving back since my daughter was born. My daughter 11, and when she was born, I started giving out school supplies. So she's 11, so I've been doing it for 11 years. Every birthday, she take time. We take time off on her birthday to pass out school supplies, whether it's at my family reunion or just giving it to random people.
That's awesome, and especially during a time where a lot of people have been saying for years that St. Louis doesn't support each other, or it's a toxic environment, and there's no growth because we are trying to compete against each other instead of trying to collaborate. How big is it for you to change that narrative that we, in regards to St. Louis, can just come together more and collaborate more and stop trying to compete and fight against each other as we have been over the past years?
Yeah, that's like real big on showing these kids that they matter, and we got to listen to them too. Like us being grown up, we always feel like we got the answer. I listen to a lot of them kids, and a lot of them kids do struggle, and I don't act like I know everything. I hear them out, and they hear me out. So after the conversation, they feel bad. I don't hear the girl in my gym basically want to hurt herself. So since she been a part of our gym, she never thought about hurting herself, cutting herself, or anything. I don't hear kids who have autism, and a lot of people won't let them come because they feel like they can't keep up. I let them come, and they really can keep up. You just got to give them a chance. And I had one guy, he had one fist. All he wanted to do was hit the bag. So I let him come to the gym and hit the bag.
Mm. And Miss Williams has a question. Do you have a scholarship type program to help kids who want to join the program but can't afford the yearly fee?
Uh, I made the yearly fee so affordable, but if they don't have the funds, I won't turn them away, as long as I know they trying to get up the streets.
That's what's up. So once again, for those listening right now, Hot 365 Radio or watching the show, where can they go to right now to check out what's going on in regards to your upcoming events and in regards to the Leon Calvin Boxing Gym?
You could go to www.lcboxing.com. We have everything on there from everything we did from the time we've been on Channel 2 News. We put everything we do, we post on our website, and everything is real. Everything we doing is just real, and we doing it from our heart. We're not doing it for likes or love or any of that. I don't care about none of that. I only really care about helping these kids, and I help them kids, and my coaches help them kids. And then we go home, and I go home and take care of my own kids.
Nice. For those listening on Hot 365 Radio, about to hit the 9 o'clock hour, so the stream may go ahead and stop on Hot 365 Radio. You can definitely watch the rest, of course, right now live on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube right now. as we are almost about to wrap up this incredible interview, having our special guest, Mr. Darrick Calvin, the executive director of Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. Going back to just watching boxing, Bunny and I had the privilege about a year and a half ago. We went to a box culture. You may know them, the promotion. They had an event over South Broadway Athletic Club. We saw, yeah, so we saw a lot of young boxers, males, females. I mean, they held it down. It was my first time actually in my years of existence going to a live boxing event, and I was like really like, okay, this is pretty cool. So we had a great time. We was able to broadcast from once again the venue, interview a lot of people. We did record some matches. It was just a great time overall. For those who have not experienced a boxing event, definitely check it out. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. Just seeing what, whether it's the kids or to people who are older, what they experience, what they go through, the strategies, everything in regards to boxing. What is it about boxing for you that just hits you home more than other sports?
Probably growing up around it and being around it my whole life. Probably more so being grew up in the sports, and I want to what my cousin Leon Calvin tried to start. I want to finish, in his name, in his honor. He meant everything. If y'all enjoy watching Big Leon Spinks and Michael, y'all would have got a treat watching him. He'd have been fighting guys like Tyson. He was coming in when Michael was coming out, and his life got short. I mean, amateur could nobody beat him. When guys used to come to the gym and they said you got to fight Leon Calvin, and true story, them guys like I'm going to fight my mama before I fight Leon Calvin, and they walk out the gym. He was that good. They did. Big old guy like, man, I'm not fighting him, coach. I go fight my mama before I fight him, and they'll walk out the gym. So he got a lot of walkover because he made a name for himself young. Corey just finished what he started. Corey was the youngest out of them, so Corey finished and became the champion. But if Big Leon wouldn't have got killed, y'all missed the treat. The world missed the treat. I mean, the treat to the point people still remember him right now today, and he got murdered in 1990.
Wow, that's legendary right there to still be remembered after all that time. So that's definitely incredible. What are your thoughts in regards to just the overall state of boxing now? We know that a couple days ago, Canelo lost a fight. We know that Tyson Fury recently won his match, his boxing match recently. What's just been your thoughts overall in regards to the state of boxing?
I think it's coming back slowly. We lost a little sting probably the past 4 or 5 years. We lost the oomph because of these guys hand picking and ducking. So they didn't make it fun no more. Then a lot of them finesse. Once they get the big money, they don't want to work hard no more. They don't want to, so it made boxing kind of finesse. And it made it kind of boring to be exact, but it's coming back slowly. It's coming back. It's coming back. So then a lot of fighters wait too long to fight each other. By that time, we all done got older and moved on.
Do you think that the rise of like UFC and MMA may have had an impact on, the popularity of boxing? Because it seemed like there was kind of an inverse speech as when MMA, UFC in particular started rising, it kind of split the audience and kind of took the audience away from boxing because they're seeing these guys box and do other things.
That comes from the point that I say that a lot of these boxers end up coming finesse. While y'all became finesse and just giving us hand-picked shows, UFC was coming with that funk. So we started tuning into that funk because we got tired of looking at that finesse stuff.
Interesting. So, what is next for you? We know that you have your events going on. We know that you have the Leon Calvin, boxing gym. But what else is next for you?
What's next for me? My dream is to open up a gym for wheelchair boxers because I know a lot of them guys and females be in a wheelchair. They just be in the house. And I know what I do. And I know what I could do in this wheelchair. And I want to teach them that they don't only have to sit in the house. So my dream is to open up a wheelchair boxing gym after I finish helping these youth.
You had 3 hearts showing love from Miss Joy Potter. Then DeAndre Barber said 19 years old. Rest in peace. Is that Dick Brew?
Yes, that's Leon Calvin, but in the neighborhood we call him Dick Brew. And Joy
Gotcha.
Potter she have a son who fighting for the first time, also made it 28. So come out and support Cody.
Miss Williams says that she still prefers pure boxing to things like MMA. Going back to boxing real quick, we recently been having these, what you call them, exhibition fights. What are your thoughts on guys like the Paul brothers, who's been dominating pay-per-views recently, fighting like the Merriweathers and whoever else over the last few years?
Me personally, I don't like it for the simple fact I know it's guys who working their tail out to get in that position. And for them to just come and jump in that position and taking away from guys who've been doing it for 15 to 20 years, me personally, I don't like it. I don't even watch it. I like real boxing.
But does it? So I don't think I didn't order any of those. But aren't there people on the undercard on those shows too? It's not just the one fight, right?
Personally, I feel like they shouldn't be headlining. I feel like the real boxers should be headlining and putting them on the undercard if you want to do it that way.
But I guess the only thing I would ask though is with a guy, and again, I'm not particularly huge fans of them, but like with the Pauls, like if they have the name recognition from the younger generations that know them, that's going to get them to buy the pay-per-views and tickets to the show, wouldn't it be better for them to be there so at least it gets the other boxers a chance to be sampled so that they can become known to the younger generation?
Not really, because boxing been around before the Paul brothers. Boxing been around forever, and behind the scenes you don't see a lot of how do you guys really work hard for you to get a shot because you the Paul brothers. I think they should wait in line just like the rest of them, no matter who you is, and no matter how much money that the sports generate. Let's do it the right way. That's why they don't want to do it no more, because they only give certain people this and that and this. No, let's help everybody to keep it going, because we got to keep it going even when we going off this earth.
Got you. And see, your wife here has been posting. Go on YouTube.com. And I love it. I love it. Promote. Go on YouTube.com. Put in Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. Check that out. Same thing on Facebook, Leon Calvin Boxing Gym. And let's see. Oh, even on TikTok. So check them out. You're going to see some stuff on there. Let's see. Michael Haywood. I'm one on the 1980 boxing. One love, my little bro.
Yeah, he another one I look at as a big brother from my neighborhood. He come out that gym when I said Mr. Ham being a coach. The name of the gym was called Northside Bombers. And when the Northside Bombers came in the house, man, look out. Them gyms like, whoa, they didn't want no smoke from nobody out that gym, even him. He one of the older guys.
And Miss Williams, she did post earlier, lcboxing.com. So definitely support everyone. Check that out. It's been a great interview, getting to know you and hear your story, Darrick Calvin. Do you have any special shout outs?
I want to send a special shout out to all the kids who come to the gym every week. I want to send a shout out to the parents who get them kids to the gym. I want to send a shout out to the Dalewood Rec Center for giving us a space to help them kids stay off the street. Marvin Cromer, the mayor over there. And I want to give a shout out to my mom from every time I'm at the gym. She taking care of my kids while I'm going to help other people's kids. And I just want to give a big shout out to my coaches, Philip Russell, Yancey, and Jamal, and a big, huge shout out to my wife.
Love it. And I know you you mentioned earlier your kids. Do you see some future boxing legends on the come up, or are they good on boxing?
Oh yeah, my daughter fighting for the first time also. I keep my
Hey,
4-year-old there with me a lot. You know, I teach him, I work with him at home. I bring him to the gym. He walk around the house right now talking about guns down, gloves up. And I love it. He only 4. So he telling y'all to put them guns down out there. So he only 4 years old. And my big girl, she 11, and she fighting for the first time also. Made it 28.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Well, once again, it's definitely been a pleasure to have you on the show. Any last words for our special guest, T-Bone?
I love hearing the stories here where we're talking about people who are doing stuff for the community, and hearing your story and hearing what you're doing to help people out. You know, it's inspirational. It helps me, look for things that I want to do in the future as far as giving back to the community. So, just know that you're an inspiration to me, even though I will never be a boxer, because that's not going to be for me. I don't like getting hit.
Ms. Williams also says, is it too late to sponsor the May 28th event?
Tell her no, ma'am. She could reach out to me at lcboxing.com, or she could call me at 314-225-8744.
Say that number one more time for me.
314-225-8744.
There we go. I'm about to go ahead and real quick add that into, let's see here. There we go. Go ahead and add that number real quick so everybody can go ahead and see it. There you go, everyone. 314-225-8744. Hit him up. Any questions in regards to what he's doing for the community, his upcoming event? It's going to be dope. And we definitely had to make something happen in regards to doing like a live broadcast, whether it's at your gym or meeting up sometime and doing some stuff with you, man, collaborating on some more stuff, man. We definitely excited to be able to meet you and to have your story told and to have you promote what you're doing for the kids and for others who are in need of that safe space.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing, giving us the microphone to let us tell our story. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you.
It's definitely a pleasure, man. That's why we do this. That's why I want to do this show, so we can have them stories told that may not be told on other outlets. So we definitely appreciate you, Darrick. And if you don't mind, just stay on. Once the show ends, we'll do a post-show talk real quick before you go. But with everybody else, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Once again, you can go ahead and follow us everywhere on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe, click on that bell, so anytime we go live, you will be notified. We also will be having the show uploaded on Roku after the live stream, is over. And you can also check us out from 7 o'clock Central Standard Time to 9 o'clock Central Standard Time on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. Every first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night. It's an all-ladies panel of women who know their sports. They love it. They debate. They bring it. If y'all think y'all got it going on, y'all got to watch the Ladies Night, and y'all definitely be impressed with what they have to offer. Then, of course, every last Wednesday of the month, you have the Man Cave T-Bone. He'll be on that show along with Sadal, Stan, Brendan, Coach Brian Turner. It's just a great show. We just have a whole lot for everyone to see every Wednesday. It's always something special on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Let's see these comments here. Let's see. Yes, so Mrs. Calvin, says not too late to sponsor the event. Yandri says big inspiration. We want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Platform Sports Talk Show, bringing them comments. Once again, once this show is over, share this stream with all the peoples who you feel will benefit from hearing this episode tonight. It's been great. T-Bone, enjoyed you, bro. Bunny, Joe, thank you very much for y'all time. Y'all are incredible. Once again, my condolences to my best friend, Jonathan, losing his father this morning. Great man. definitely a hard time right now, but I know that he's smiling down on us. A great man, great husband, just a great person overall, and definitely miss you and definitely love you. Everyone, once again, your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Go ahead, subscribe, click on that bell. Anytime you go live, you will be notified. So check us out every week. It goes down. Hey, it's your boy Smooth. With that being said, the platform sports talk show. We out. We out. Ride. We out. Bump.